Hey guys, it's Joey Gaming and welcome back to another video here on the Joey Gaming YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that is really sad, and that is the end of matchmaking and online play for all Halo 360 titles. This includes Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, and I believe the Spartan Assault games. So, I'm going to give you guys a quick history lesson on what's going on. So, about a year ago, 343 announced that they're going to be shutting down or sunsetting these games. And the main reason for them doing this is that it just costs way too much money to run these servers. And what you guys need to understand about these old Halo games is that these games were made in a different era of gaming compared to how games are made in today's age, right? And the servers are pretty outdated as well, and they probably run on parts or they use something else which is no longer available in today's age, which brings up the cost of these servers. So they just decided to, to discontinue the matchmaking for these games. And you know what? I'm with most of the players. I am very sad about it, because growing up, I always played Halo Reach. In fact, Halo Reach is one of my first ever Halo games I've ever played, right? When I was like, let's see, when did Halo Reach come out? Halo Reach came out like 2010. Yeah, Halo Reach came out in 2010. I was like 6 years old when Halo 10 came out. Halo 10, no, I was 6 years old when Halo Reach came out, and I was playing that game. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was playing that game when I was like 7 or 8 years old, right, with my family, right? Because my family would get on to Halo on our 360s, and we would play every weekend. Granted, I wasn't as good because, I was literally a 5 or 6 year old at the time, and, I'm not those 5 or 6 year olds where I was completely cranked, alright? Trust me, there are some impressive 5 or 6 year olds, 5-year-old kids out there who will dominate me at Fortnite or Minecraft, and it just shocks me because when I was their age, I was literally dog crap at video games. But that's just the age we live in. But when I was 5 or 6, I wasn't good at video games at the time, right? I would look at the floor, look up in the sky, turn around my gun, don't know what's going on, right? I was literally playing Halo at that time, right? And when I got like 8 or 9 years old, when I got a little bit better, I would play like online matchmaking, right? I would play like the multiplayer. I would play Infection, SWAT, Invasion, dude. Those were some fantastic memories on my Xbox 360. And I am kind of sad that 343 had discontinued them. And, I can't really blame them, and I'm kind of glad they kind of did. Even though I'm sad, I'm glad they did anyways, and I'll tell you why. There's some people out there who are very upset towards 343 for shutting down these servers, and they actually have a load of reasons why. The main reason is that 343 added new content to these old Halo games when they should be 100% original. And partially I agree with them, but at the same time, I love games that continue to receive updates. This is why I love Minecraft so much, because they get a lot of updates. They get like 2 yearly updates or something, 2 yearly major updates, and this is why I love Minecraft, right? And because they would change and update the game. Granted, you can download any version of Minecraft and play it. I can play the OG original version of Minecraft if I wanted to. This is why Fortnite is popular too, because they keep changing their formula and keep expanding as well, okay? I'm pretty sure it's the same with Among Us, but I don't pay attention with Among Us, so I don't know if they I have no idea if they still update that game. So, for these games to remain popular, you really kind of have to update them, which is a good thing in my opinion, right? And the thing is, you may think that more content added to a game later, you may think adding new content is actually a really bad thing way after the game's released. But I disagree, and if you hate the new stuff, then just turn it off, There's a setting in the settings for a reason to turn off the new all the cosmetic stuff, right? And I understand that, right? But some people don't have a problem with the cosmetics. They have a problem that you know, it's made by 343, right? And some people hate 343 so much. Even if they did something completely good to these Halo games, they would just hate them because, you know, they still have that hate phase. You know, like most of the Halo community has moved on from that hate phase from Halo 4 and 5, from hating on 343, and moved on and started appreciating what 343 has done, especially with Halo Infinite, which turned out to be a good game, minus all the negative stuff, like the lack of playlists, the lack of content in the game. But besides that, Halo Infinite is a solid good game, and I think 343 did a good job on Halo Infinite as well. Also, I think we were totally spoiled when it comes to the Master Chief Collection too, you know? I think that 343 could have just added the games just to PC, give them performance updates, and that's it. But no, they went ahead and added more to the game, you know? Which I'm super happy that they did, because, you know, they're the reason why Halo is a lot more popular than than it was a few years ago. Granted, Halo is not back on where it is today. Halo is not at its golden age, unfortunately. It's not at its golden age like how it was in Halo 3 or Reach. But, you know, that's kind of like the main argument that these Bungie stands have. Oh dear, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying Bungie stands. But yeah, that's the type of stuff that most of these 343 haters say, and they keep saying that that 343 ruined the game. You know, 343 ruined. They ruined the MCC. They ruined these older games by adding new stuff, which is completely nonsense, right? One guy told me on Twitter. Yes, this is on Twitter. I'm probably gonna make a TikTok video of all the Twitter responses I've received. One guy told me that he missed that 343 is bad because they left out this sick menus, right? And honestly, that argument makes me laugh so much, because I know that Halo has good, you know, Halo definitely has good menus, that's for sure, right? Halo definitely has good menus, but who's playing Halo just for the main menus, you know? Like, nobody's playing a video game just for the menu. Like, I don't know anyone who plays video games for the menus, you know? It's just kind of ridiculous, right? And I don't know. They just say that they miss the UI, and I understand. But you know, the main but you know, I like I said earlier, I understand a little bit. The menus are cool. However, I'm not going to cry to 343 if they'll leave out the cool menus, because they're just not really needed, really. And you want to hear the best part? The menus are not even totally gone in general, right? The menus are not 100% gone either, and let me tell you why. So the menus, not menus. 343 is releasing the, what's it called? 343 is releasing mod tools for all the Halo games. I believe they have it out for Halo 1, 2, and 3. They haven't released it for Reach yet, or 4, but they probably will very soon. And with the builds, they release these other builds of the MCC, which you can mod, I think, right? And inside these mod tools, you can find the OG menus for these Halo games, which work, you know? They totally work. So if you want the old menus back for these Halo games, then go download a mod where they add it back in, you know? If you're playing on the Xbox One, well, that kind of sucks, you know? And, yeah. Another argument that most of these people are saying, why they're against, you know, the MCC, is that, you know, why play Halo 3? Why should I go download the MCC if I have all these other old games that I can just put in my Xbox One and they work, right? And they work fine. And the thing is, you can totally do that. You can get your old copies of Halo Reach, your physical copies of Halo Reach, Halo 3, Halo 4, you know, whatever, right? You can put it in your console and it runs just fine. Granted, you can't play matchmaking anymore because 343 shut down the servers for that, and so was the progression for these games as well, you know. But you can still play them. However, here's my problem with that, you know. Those games are stuck at 30 frames per second, right? Those games they can't go up to a higher resolution. I think, these games are still stuck in 30 frames per second, 720p, and the FOV for the weapons and your character models is still at 70, right? And the whole idea of, you know, the whole idea of these new consoles and PC is that you can play games that are up to date. Well, you can play these games up to date, right? And they're designed to run more powerful games, you know, such as Halo Infinite or another video game that has RTX or ray tracing, you know. Like, honestly, if I was gonna play any of the old Halo games, I'm gonna play it on the PC, on the MCC, because I get, like, what's it called? Performance. I get performance. That's the word I'm looking for. I get performance boosts by playing on the MCC because they added more stuff. They made it so you can play Halo 3 at 60 frames per second or even 120 frames per second, you know, at, you know, 4K or 1080p. You can't really do that on the other consoles because if you put in an old copy of Halo Reach or Halo 3, they're not going to run at a higher resolution. They're stuck at 30 frames per second at 120 at a 720p, and I don't know. I just think that this whole argument that 343 is bad because they discontinued the servers and now they're forced to play MCC, which is, you know, a lot worse, quote unquote, than the actual physical disc version, you know, which is completely ridiculous. And honestly, I think the main reason people are against this whole idea and why they're upset that that these old games are being discontinued is because they grew up with them and they have the nostalgic goggles and they refuse to take them off, you know? They refuse to continue to go forward. They want to live in the past, you know? That's kind of my theory. But at the end of the day, if you want to still cry about MCC being horrible because they keep changing stuff, and you want to be upset at 343 for, you know, turning off the servers for all these other Halo games, and then continue to cry about it. You continue to cry about it, and you refuse to play online. Meanwhile, me and the boys are going to be playing like Halo 3 and Halo Reach on the MCC with 120 frames per second. You know, 1080p, maybe 4K sometimes, and you know, having a great time. But like I said earlier, it's really up to you. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and see ya. Peace. Bye.